While wrestling matches are often scripted, the industry has unfortunately witnessed the loss of several lives. Like any fatality, the impact is widespread, with children being among the most affected. I'm curious about what happened to the kids of wrestlers who passed away at a young age, starting with Brian Pillman. Brian Pillman blurred the lines between fiction and reality to such an extent that when he passed away at the age of 35, some initially found it hard to believe. The wrestler, known as the Loose Cannon, tragically died alone in his hotel room on the day of a WB pay-per-view. Leaving behind 6 children, 2 stepchildren and 4 biological children, the Pillman family faced additional challenges after his death. His daughter Brittany and his only son, Brian Pillman Jr., experienced difficulties, enduring physical abuse from their mother's new husband, and struggling with basic necessities. The Pillman family faced another devastating blow when Brian Pillman's stepdaughter Alexis passed away at a young age. Despite aspirations to pursue a career in wrestling, Alexis's life was cut short in a car crash at the age of 26. Amidst these hardships, there is a silver lining. Brittany, having graduated from college in 2016, now successfully manages her own clothing store, Ash Haven Co., in Edgewood, Kentucky. Married with a 2-year-old son, she also attends wrestling shows to support her brother, Brian Pillman Jr., at the age of 23. Laced up his boots and embarked on a wrestling career. Making a name for himself, he joined AEW in July 2023, later moving to WWE after his contract expired. Currently performing on NXT under the name Lexis King, he continues the wrestling legacy of the Pillman family. In May 2020, the former WWE wrestler and his son found themselves caught in a strong rip current while swimming at Venice Beach in Los Angeles. Despite lifeguards coming to their aid, Gaspard insisted that they prioritize saving his son first. Tragically, Shad Gaspard was swept away and lost his life. Arya, Gaspard's 10-year-old son at the time, managed to reach safety. Now, at the age of 13, Arya keeps people updated through his Instagram account. Despite still being in middle school, he is actively engaged in the gym, lifting weights. There's speculation about the possibility of seeing Arya Gaspard in a wrestling ring, but his passion seems to lean towards football and basketball. Regardless of the path he chooses, it's evident that Arya is making his father proud and pursuing what he loves. The news of Luke Harper's, also known as Brody Lee, sudden and tragic death was deeply saddening. The former Wyatt family member succumbed to a rare condition called idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, a disease that thickens lung tissues and impairs their function. At the time of his passing, Harper left behind 2 sons, 8-year-old Brody and 3-year-old Nolan, who will be turning 6 in December 2023. In August 2023, Nolan, the younger son of the backwoods brawler, embarked on his educational journey by starting kindergarten. Looking ahead, Nolan harbors aspirations of becoming a video game programmer, carving out a path unique from his father's legacy. Meanwhile, Brody, the older brother, is already following in his dad's footsteps. Following Brody Lee's untimely death, Brody Lee Jr., now known as -1, made his debut in AEW, All Elite Wrestling. He joined his father's faction, the Dark Order, marking the continuation of the family's connection with the wrestling world. In a significant move, AEW decided to sign Luke Harper's son to a contract that will take effect on January 17, 2030, coinciding with -1's 18th birthday. The contract represents a potential entry into the world of professional wrestling, giving him the option to pursue a career in the industry that defined his father's life. Let's delve into Umaga's WWE career, which spanned approximately 3 years but left a significant impact. Despite his relatively short stint, the Samoan Bulldozer achieved notable success and garnered recognition. However, in June 2009, Umaga was released from his WWE contract, and tragedy struck 6 months later. His wife discovered him unconscious at home, leading to his hospitalization and eventual passing due to 2 heart attacks. This unfortunate event left behind a grieving wife and 4 children, plunging the family into financial hardship. Following Umaga's demise, his son Isaiah Fatu faced a challenging period. At the age of 15, Isaiah was arrested for aggravated robbery, resulting in a 6-year prison sentence. Fortunately, in March 2022 he was released and underwent a positive transformation, embracing Islam. Choosing to follow in his late father's footsteps, Isaiah began training at Booker T's Reality of Wrestling School in December 2020. In June 2023, he marked his debut as a 4th-generation wrestler under the name Zilla Fatu, paying homage to his father by incorporating Umaga's signature move, the Samoan Spike. In contrast to many individuals discussed in this video, Chris Benoit is accountable for the tragic deaths of his wife and 7-year-old son in June 2007, followed by his own demise. It's important to note that Benoit had 2 children from a previous marriage, namely David, aged 14, and Megan, aged 10 at the time. Following Chris Benoit's demise, both David and Megan continued to reside with their biological mother in Edmonton, Alberta. After maintaining a low profile for over a decade, David Benoit gradually became more public, participating in interviews and making appearances at wrestling events. He expressed interest in pursuing training and even got booked for a wrestling match. Currently, David is based in Edmonton, working in the oil industry. On the other hand, Chris Benoit's daughter Megan has been notably more reserved. It wasn't until 2023 that Megan Benoit established an Instagram account at the age of 26. Through this platform, she shared a few pictures featuring her and her father. However, beyond these glimpses, not much is known about Megan Benoit's life. Not widely known, Andre the Giant had a child named Robin Christensen Rusimov, born in 1979. Despite only seeing her father 5 times due to a strained relationship between Andre and Robin's mother, he made efforts to support her financially by paying child support and establishing a trust fund. Presently residing in Seattle, Washington, Robin is not involved in wrestling, but she actively oversees her father's legacy. Whenever Andre the Giant's name or likeness is utilized, Robin is involved in decision-making and receives royalties. Her most recent involvement includes consulting on a biopic about Andre the Giant. Crash Holly passed away just 4 months after being released from his WWE contract. Despite having a career with the company for about 5 years, he was let go in June 2003. Unfortunately, in November of the same year, Holly took his own life at the age of 32, following the receipt of divorce papers from his wife. He left behind an 8-year-old daughter named Patty, who fortunately received support. Molly Holly, Crash's storyline cousin, played a role in raising funds for Patty's education. Presently, Crash Holly's daughter resides in Santa Clara, California, where she is working towards obtaining her GED. She currently holds the position of an assistant manager at Little Caesars. It was a somber moment for the wrestling community when Eddie Guerrero passed away in 2005, leaving behind his wife, Vicky Guerrero, and their 3 daughters. The eldest, Shaul Guerrero, entered the wrestling world by joining WWE in 2010 under the name Raquel Diaz. Unfortunately, her career was cut short in 2014 due to an eating disorder. After overcoming this challenge, Shaul ventured into announcing and commentating for various wrestling companies, including AEW. Now 33 and residing in Chicago, she has also embraced burlesque dancing. Eddie's second daughter, Sherilyn Guerrero, took a different path. At 28, she resides in Houston, Texas, working as a client coordinator at Ideal Image and pursuing freelance photography and art. Sherilyn, a content creator on TikTok and Instagram, revealed strained relationships with her mother and sister, alleging assault by her stepfather in 2020. Despite the controversy, Sherilyn continues to share her stories. Eddie's 3rd child, Kaylee Guerrero, entered the family through a different relationship. At 21, she has become a special effects makeup artist for films, with a particular focus on horror. Despite being very young when Eddie passed away, Kaylee was accepted into Vicky's family. These updates shed light on the diverse paths taken by Eddie Guerrero's daughters after his untimely death. The passing of the Ultimate Warrior was deeply shocking for many, particularly because he had just returned to Monday Night Raw the day before his untimely death. The tragedy was compounded by the fact that he left behind a grieving wife and 2 daughters. His eldest, Vienna, is set to turn 23 in 2023, while Madigan, the youngest, will be 21. Despite not having entered the world of professional wrestling like their father, Vienna has pursued ballet and gained admission to the competitive Colburn School. Presently, she is a student at the University of Texas at Austin, majoring in youth and community studies, and also works as a professional caregiver. Madigan, the more private of the two, is assumed to be pursuing her education. The loss of the Ultimate Warrior left a significant void in the lives of his family, altering the course of their futures. In 2019, the wrestling community faced a significant loss with the unexpected death of Ashley Massaro. Ashley, who entered WWE in 2005 after winning the Diva Search competition, dedicated about 3 years to the company before departing in 2008. Her decision to leave was driven by her commitment to caring for her then 7-year-old daughter, Alexa. Tragically, in May 2019, Ashley Massaro took her own life. In the aftermath of this devastating event, a GoFundMe campaign was initiated to support Alexa Massaro. The campaign successfully raised $100,000, which was allocated towards Alexa's education. Presently, Ashley Massaro's daughter is a student in Smithtown, New York. While there haven't been indications that Alexa aspires to pursue a career in wrestling like her mother, she is engaged in modeling, a profession her mother was also involved in. If you found this information interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on your favorite wrestling personalities. Until next time, stay tuned.